Hello YouTube, I'm IAmCecilMan and this is another tutorial. Today I will be building one of these. This is a mob grinder. This isn't a failed attempt, but I had an issue with my recording software and it didn't quite work properly, so I'll just use this instead to show you what we will be building. As you can hear, it is spawning mobs right now, and they will fall and die once they hit the bottom here. Hoppers then collect the items and drop them into this chest. The only thing that doesn't die from this is witches at the moment. So, I mean, I'm going to say feel free to make it as high as you want, but it's got to be above, or 24 blocks or above the kill floor. So now I'm going to go far enough away from this that it won't interfere with the grinder that I'm about to build. So I'm going to come to this side of my tutorial sign, about there where the edge of the map is so far. So here should do. Now we're going to need some materials. I like to use stone brick. You can use anything. We're also going to need some water. We will need hoppers. And we will need a chest, or 2 chests. So 4 hoppers, 2 chests. I think it's about 22 stacks of stone bricks. Maybe less, but it's good to have about that much. And 8 buckets of water. Alright, so once we have these things, the materials, we're going to start by building a 2x2 shaft. So that means, but we're only going to wall in at the bottom of it, 3 sides. I like to start at the bottom for this. So we're going to place our double chest there, and from here we're going to shift click, so that's holding left shift down and clicking, right clicking, sorry, onto the chest so that it connects the hoppers with the chest, and then we're going to connect 2 more hoppers with the back of those hoppers so that they feed into each other and then into the chest. So now just to tell you what's going to happen here is from 3 blocks up, falling down onto solid ground, while not in creative, that will do no damage. But if you were to fall from 4 blocks up, so it's 3 plus 1, you will take 1 damage, or half a heart. So that tells me that a 23 block fall will kill you. But we're going to go to 24 blocks just to be certain. I will now build this tower all the way up. Just so we can still, actually, you can use upside down stairs or you can use half stone slabs. I like to use stone slabs, they look a little better. So what's this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So this is how high we're going to build it. Now it looks fairly high, but if you're in survival mode and you're building this, you sort of just hop your way up, and then you might have a 2x2 water supply or an infinite water source down there that you can land in to get back down again, or you might feel like building some stairs or just doing it bit by bit, like so, and just have all the items on you and loop your way around until you get up to the height you require. I have fly because I'm in creative, or if you're on a server, I play on the Capital World server, which is why I'm doing this, is because on the Skyblock server that I moderate on, we are building an advanced technology sort of island. We have warp info there, and that's very good for basics. A basic cobblestone generator is there, basic functions for farms and some of the things that you can use, what to do with the items that are in your chest, etc., but none of them sort of explain how to build advanced redstone cobble generators, stone generators. The iron farm that was in the last episode, designed by Serpent Sheepalot on that same server, very good job there. And of course it doesn't show you how to gain XP or mob drop items with ease, because most people know what is required for a mob grinder to work, but they just don't know any of the maths in it. So I'm doing that today and making it as easy to follow as possible. So once we're up to the top here, we're just going to build 8 out from the hole. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the reason for this is because water from its source block will flow 7 other blocks. So this should come right to the edge here. We'll put the water in once we've done the bottom of this layer, and you'll be able to see that. But just to show you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to do the same around all 4 sides. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll be back once that's done. So we've got this. Now we're just going to put our walls up. So make them too high, and I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, so the walls are now too high. I've left this one here just to show you why they need to be too high. I like to explain why things are the way they are in my tutorials, and this is because mobs will jump up if they so wish. So if they land in here and they get down to about here and they see something over there that interests them a little more, or let's say that you're on the floor and you're over there, zombies are going to be trying to walk directly from you, etc. Or they'll spawn over here, they'll try and come at you, and then they'll want to jump up onto this platform to get as close to you as possible. So naturally, you're going to want to stop that. This is why these walls are too high, like so. Now, let's just double check the length of that by placing the water. We're going to place the water now, may as well, and that goes straight to the edge, which is exactly what we want. Let's do that for all 4 of these, like so. Next part of this build is we are going to, up until about here, we're going to fill in these corners. I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so we have our lower platform done now. Next thing to put in is these walls, which will again be too high. We're going to do these all the way around. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so we now have the walls of our mob grinder done. There's not a lot more to do other than to put the roof on. And I'll start that from this corner here. And that's just going to cover everything. If you wish, you can put a second layer in. I don't usually worry about it. If you do wish to do that, you can do so by building the platform here the same way, like so, and just filling in these corners. However, we're just going to make it one platform. It's fast and efficient enough, as you saw from the one on the other side of the sign over there. Yeah, it's just not required, and you don't want to have too many mobs falling, because otherwise you could generate lag for yourself around your mob grinder. A lot of people use this design on their island because it's fairly compact. It's not too chunky, doesn't require too many resources being so small compared to others. I have my own variations of this and others that I like to use, purely because they serve slightly different purposes, but this is one that I would definitely recommend having a look at. I'll be back once I've filled this roof in. Okay, so before I put the last block in, I just want to show you the inside of this. It's nice and dark, which is what we want. Obviously for mobs to spawn, the light levels need to be low. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to look straight up here to make sure that I've got that central enough. Yes. Now, this isn't necessary if you're making it a kill on impact grinder, but it is if you want it to be XP, so it's always good to have it there anyway, so you can adjust it later from the bottom, because there is some fine tuning that you can do. So next thing we're going to need are some torches, and we're just going to scatter those around the top. Doesn't matter where they go as long as the top is nice and well lit. On a place like if you're doing this on a skyblock island, you'll want this to remain lit up, because a lot of people have layers on their islands and they'll usually have something covering this, and you don't want mobs spawning up the top here. We'll also want to light the bottom of this area out. As you can see, we've already got a skeleton spawning there. Not what we want. And it looks like one spawned at the bottom there, which is not what we want either. And we can fix that by putting a torch here and killing him. Already it's going crazy, which is good to see. I don't want you. Alrighty. And it's raining mobs. Now, if you want to make this XP friendly, you can do so by... These guys are gripping onto something when they fall. You can do so by... If I can get to it... Now you're in the way. Placing hoppers here, here... Oh, and they'll survive and be one hit. Ah, come on. Yes, yes. Nice. There. And the mobs will... Most of them anyway, will land on here and hopefully not die, like he did. Take it up to 22 and you'll be guaranteed a survival. So I'm just going to remove these. Yes. So, and you can make it XP friendly like that. Let's get that out of the way, because I think that the spiders are surviving only because of that torch. And this is your grinder. It will collect mob drops. Very handy. Just make sure that there are not too many other mobs around, because each chunk in the world has a mob spawn limit. Or each set of chunks in the world, I think it's a group of 10, has a mob spawn limit. And if there are too many mobs in that area, then this will become slow, sluggish, and it will be less effective. So also make sure that the area around it is completely well lit. So if it's in the middle of a town, that's not usually an issue, because most people put street lamps up or whatever. If it's on your island, that's not an issue either, because there's not so much surface area that can be spawned on, and what is spawnable is usually protected. Now, as you can see here, witches do not die from this fall height. Now, this is a small error issue. I guess you could just kill them. Good XP there anyway. And they shouldn't be able to hit you. Be aware that if they do try and throw a splash potion through here, the particle effects will still come out and you may still receive damage. The witches being there, however, will not affect whether the mobs die on impact. They'll just sit there taking up mob spawns, so it's good to clear them out every now and then. This is a very effective mob grinder. I have one of my own on my island, but I use it for a different purpose. And I see a lot of these sprouting up on islands on the Skyblock server, for the Capital World Skyblock server that I play on. And also many, many more in the survival server. They are very effective if you don't have access to the mob spawning items. So let's clear this. And this is what you will have built. Anyway guys, like if you felt that this video was helpful, subscribe if you want to see more. I have a couple of other videos up for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next video.